All right, we're right at the start of this webinar. Thanks a lot for everyone to join it. Really appreciate you taking out this time. I know everyone's been having super busy schedules with work from home in most cases, and I really appreciate it. From your busy schedule, you were able to take time out for this. I see a bunch of folks still joining in, but while I walk through the instructions, I think we'd have stabilized on the number of attendees that we have for today's webinar. So, what are we talking about? So this is about Fiddler Everywhere and basically what we're going to look at is going to be some of the features that we've introduced as part of Fiddler Everywhere. It's a new version that's come out. It's something that we're really excited about, and we hope you too are equally excited about it. So today, it's going to be about showing you the product, walking through various screens as they are today, and showing you all these changes that we've brought in based on the feedback that we received from you. A few instructions before we get started. In case you're not able to hear me, check your audio. I'm hoping the audio is clear from my side, but check your audio, restart GoToWebinar if need be. And if you're on your phone, it would be better if you join in through your laptop because, again, I'll be showing a lot of screens, so it'll be easier for you to see and it would be easier for you to hear. In case you still have issues, there will be a link that will be shared with you. It will be a YouTube link. It's something that you can look at on demand. It's something that the the marketing team would be sending out to you as part of a thank you email for joining this webinar. So yeah, at any point, if you feel that the audio is not working out, or you have some other engagements, you won't miss out on anything. So yeah, you'll have the video with you. Do leave your questions in the questions tab below. We really appreciate that people drop in a lot of questions. I mean, in the last few webinars, we've had close to 100 questions. I have a team here who would be able to answer your questions. In case we're not able to answer it, we would get back to you. And again, as I said, the whole idea is to make it as interactive as always. Another thing that I would request you to do is provide your feedback. I mean, this is the first time that you'll probably be seeing some of these screens, and I know most of you would be avid users of Fiddler. So we'd love to hear back from you. The team has put in a lot of effort to get to where it is today, and we really appreciate both feedback, good or bad, or some suggestions that you have. All right. One final thing, in case you want to reach out to any of us, we have, or you want access to what you see, there is a Fiddler Everywhere Insiders program that's happening as we speak. You can block time with us. On our calendars, there's a Calendly link that one of my colleagues would just share on the chat below. You can click on that Calendly link and reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk to you about the product, happy to take your feedback, and happy to get you started on Fiddler Everywhere. And I mean, to top it all, if we get to speak to you and you're amongst the first 75 people that we speak with, you have a chance to win a $25 Amazon coupon. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a win-win for you if you want to go ahead and just set up some time on the Calendly link below. Right. There'll be a couple of polls, and this is just primarily to understand who we're speaking to as an audience. I know it's hard for us to interact on a one-on-one basis with everyone, but we just love to understand who you are, and there are some questions around what kind of teams you work with, or what is the OS you use, so on and so forth. So yeah, just those polls to make sure that we're all we all understand each other, right? I'm working from home. I'm hoping that things would be perfectly fine and there would be no internet issues. But yeah, where I am, it is kind of common to actually have some power outages. So in case that's what happens, please be patient. I'll definitely try and join back. In case I'm not able to join back, there will be someone from my team who would probably take it forward. Yeah, they will actually get back to you, and I mean they will either put up a video or probably take things forward from where I left off. What you're also going to see is that there'll be a lot of screens that we'll share with you. These are screens that we've created over time, and again, we wanna take your feedback, and we want to make sure that we deliver the ultimate product to you at the end of it. But some of these things can change. Some of these things can change for the better. Some of the features that we're looking to add can look a little different from what you see now. So yeah, again, open to feedback, open to your thoughts, and making sure that we give out the best of Fiddler to you. All right. With that, let me go ahead and get into the product, right? So that's the exciting part. That's why all of us are over here. All right, so here it is, the new Fiddler Everywhere, which has been designed to work on Mac, Linux, and Windows. Yes, you heard me right. It's now available on all 3 operating systems, which means that you no longer have to worry about creating a separate VM with Windows on it so that you can run Fiddler. Trust me, I've spoken to so many people who seem to be using Fiddler that particular way. And the other aspect is the focus of Fiddler Everywhere is around 3 key things. The focus is on having a very contextual interface. The focus is on giving you a space where you can organize your work much better. And the focus is to make sure that the overall experience that you have with Fiddler is right up there with all these other products that you work with today, right? And therefore, as you can see over here, what we've really done is, while we've revamped the entire interface, we've made sure that it is not something that you feel is completely alien to you, right? These sessions, as you can see over here, these sessions are something that you can see right in front of you, where you've always had your sessions. The request and the response tabs are again exactly where you've had them. The various types of requests and responses again is something that you have easy access to, right? So from a muscle memory perspective, once you start off, you'll be like, oh yeah, I really know how to maneuver through this because I've been through this, say, a million times before, right? But if you look at it, we've changed a lot of things. I mean, we've made it much more cleaner for you to look at the sessions. We've changed the way you would capture traffic to start with. I mean, something which is so basic was probably lying down on the left-hand bottom corner, hard for a first timer to figure out how to start capturing traffic, is now right up here in front of your eyes with a little toggle button which can tell you whether you're capturing traffic or not. You have your important features like your composer, your inspector, your autoresponders right in front of you, such that again you don't have to search through a plethora of buttons. One of the feedbacks that we got by speaking with a number of people was that that the journey to start Fiddler is tough, and simply because of the fact that it's so feature packed, that it's almost it almost becomes like starting off on a book which you're forced to pick up because it's so good, but you don't want to. So that's the kind of that's what we wanted to solve for. We wanted to make sure that when you log into Fiddler, when you download Fiddler, when you start working on Fiddler, it's obvious. It's certain things that you want to do are obvious. They're right in front of your eyes, and therefore you don't really have to struggle with moving around and clicking at 15 different places. The other thing that we noticed a lot, and before I go into the features themselves, the other thing we noticed a lot is that because people are so used to using Fiddler in a particular way, for example, web debugging or inspecting certain network traffic, and because Fiddler was always so feature packed, a lot of times people would forget that there are so many features within Fiddler, right? And again, therefore we've highlighted those key features so that you know that Fiddler is not just really powerful for you to capture traffic, but it is really powerful for you to compose APIs or test out the APIs that you've created. It's powerful enough for you to go ahead and mock up your backend and basically make sure that your responses are coming from your desktop itself as against this as against you hitting the server every single time. We're just putting in those things in front of your eyes so that tomorrow you don't have to worry about us, or you don't have to come to us and say, hey, I didn't know that this Fiddler could do this. And trust me, there are a lot of things that Fiddler can do for you. Let's start with the feature that you guys love the most, which is the traffic inspection, right? As you can see over here, all of my sessions are listed out here. We have at the column level, we have information, and we've introduced filters here, right? So now you have the ability to go to any column and put in certain filters, like my URL contains progress. That's the name of my company. And I filter it, and I have all my URLs that contain progress, right? I can go ahead, select some of these and save them as a session, right? Something that is so easy to do at a click of a button. So I say these are my progress sessions for webinar, right? And I go ahead and save them. Once I save them, I can click on these sessions and they will open up as a separate tab. So it's not that these are sessions that that open up in another window, which was the case with Fiddler, the original, or Fiddler Classic, as I would refer to it. You have all of these sessions available on a separate tab. So again, this helps you to compare multiple tabs, or this just helps you to consolidate your information in a way that you have your working sessions and you have your live chat capturing going on at the same time, right? Within these working sessions as well, let's just say you want to go ahead and comment on certain things. You want to say, hey, you know what, I really liked what I saw, or there's a particular piece, a particular session that I want my team to look at. You can put in your comments, and that will get saved, and basically you can use that context to go ahead and share. Oops, it says my quota is reached, but actually it will allow me to go ahead and share my sessions with other people by simply allowing, by simply putting in email IDs, etc. So yeah, so what you just saw were quotas. So obviously one aspect that we're introducing with Fiddler Everywhere is that we're introducing the Fiddler Everywhere, which will have certain basic features, and then there will be a pro version, which will allow you to do everything. So, and you saw a glimpse of that. So you can upgrade to the pro version when you want to, and then get all the features that will be available, right, from a collaboration perspective, etc. The other aspect that this allows you to do is you can go ahead, click on a particular session and mark it. So you can strike out a particular session, or you can go ahead and mark it with red or gold or whatever color that you like for that particular evening. And again, just gives you the ability to focus on certain key aspects. The other aspect of filtering is that we've introduced is one is at the column level that you just saw. My apologies. Let me just go ahead and clear the filters. And then you have filters at the header level, right? So for example, I want to pick up one of my sessions, and I want to say, okay, let me just pick up this particular host from my request header and filter on that particular host name itself. Obviously, I could have done that from my column as well, but just for the sake of this example, let's just say I want to go ahead and apply certain headers, apply certain filters on my header itself. Right. So again, as you can see over here, I filtered out all the hosts which have outlook.office.com by applying a filter, or an advanced filter, at the request header space itself, right? And I can do a lot more from it. So the complexity of your filtering has just gone a notch higher. Now, this is as far as the inspector is concerned. Now, let's go and look at the composer. So again, the composer is something that you would have seen in some of your other products that you use. This basically allows you to test out certain APIs that you have. This allows you to build out certain APIs, and again, execute them and check whether the response is correct or not. So as you can see, I had an API which had already pasted there. When I click on execute, I have my response portion here itself. Earlier, to get me a response, I would again have to go back to live traffic, search for the API that I ran, search for that particular request, and then get to the response. Now it's all integrated. I can just type my API here, put in the details, and then get the corresponding response. And obviously, I can get it in different forms. I can get a text form, I can get a JSON form, whatever I want is something that I can easily get out of this entire interface of Composer. So we're basically saying to you, hey, you're using Fiddler and you're using Fiddler a lot. So therefore, why do you even want to move to some of these other products which would allow you to do this? So how much of it can be solved through Fiddler? So we're not really trying to replace other products. We're just trying to say, hey, if you have a use case and Fiddler can solve it, it'll be good for you to know that, and basically allows you the ability to do so within these interfaces that you have itself. So we went through the entire sessions. We looked at the various sessions and the fact that we can mark them, we can filter them, we can filter by column, we can filter by request type, and now what we want to do is we want to mock our backend, right? So we have a feature called Autoresponder, which is again a very popular feature. It is one of the most popular features that we have today. And what Autoresponder really allows you to do is it allows you to create rules such that you can mock a backend, right? Now, what do I mean by that? Let's look at a live example of what do I mean by that. So just give me 1 second while I open my browser. All right, so let me just say I want to go to google.com, right? I have google.com right in front of me. I want to replace the image of google.com with an image that I have stored locally, which is called progress.com, right? So my apologies for that. So basically I go in here, I type in the URL that I want to match, and then I pick up the location of the file on my local computer that I want to replace this with, right? So I type in that's my rule, and I create a rule, right? What I'm really doing here, I'm sorry, press the wrong button. Let me just put this right in again and copy the URL from what I had before. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button there. Just give me 1 second. Yep, it's right here. All right, so we have the URL back. We have the action that I want to take where we have the action for it as well. And now I want to add to queue, right? So that's the matching condition. What I'm saying is whenever you have this particular request, kindly replace that image with the image from my desktop, right? Now let's see how that works. I'm back on my homepage, google.com, and I will go ahead and refresh this. So you see, what I did was on a live site itself, I was able to actually go ahead and replace the google.com or Google logo with a progress logo, and I feel happy about it, right? For a few moments, progress is the most powerful search engine that we have, right? So it's things like this. Now, where is this really useful? This is extremely useful in cases where you want to mock up your backend, where you don't want to hit your server again and again, where you really want to run certain tests on the overall look and feel of your system, as well as make it more complex. I mean, the complexity of the rules can be really a lot. So you can have certain regex functions in there. You can have URLs that you can replace it with. You can have headers in place, and even in terms of actions, there is a bunch of things that you can do, right? While I was speaking to a lot of people, they mentioned that they do some of this using Fiddler script. Yes, that is definitely one way of doing it, but this is a much easier way for you to get into mocking your backend and making sure that that you're running your scripts in the right way, you're receiving the responses in the right way before you actually go live. So very good tool for anyone who's debugging code. Very good tool for anyone who's doing any kind of development and wants to make sure that that the responses are exactly as per requirement, right? So therefore, as you saw, we saw multiple things today. We saw the live capturing piece where we saw the inspector and all the information that the inspector has to provide. We saw the request and the response details and all the information that we can get about them, something that you're used to. We saw that we can go ahead and save these sessions and save it as a session and have all my sessions listed here. We saw that we can pull out a session and have it as a tab as against a separate window that you were used to and had to toggle between 15 different windows. We saw that we have the ability to share now, the ability to actually share our work by putting in email IDs and sharing all of these sessions that we've saved or any kind of work that we've done. You can also right click and basically get to a point where you'd be able to write comments and provide details on comments as well, right? So all of those things is what we've packed into our early version of Fiddler Everywhere, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is just the first version that we're going to come out with. It's available on Mac, Linux, and Windows. It's built on Electron technology, which makes us scale this out very easily across multiple platforms. And therefore, what we're really trying to achieve by doing all of this is we're trying to reduce the barrier of entry for people into using Fiddler. We're trying to get in more and more people from the community to try it because we know that Fiddler as a tool is extremely powerful and it has solved so many of your problems over so many years. Now the whole point is to just make it more readily available and improve your experience just as you would with other software tools that you have around, right? Now, with that being said, I'd love to also talk about the fact that we are in the process of signing people up for a insiders program. This insiders program allows you access to the tool that you just saw. It also gives you access to the product team, so you'd be able to talk to them. You'd be able to make sure that they're listening to you. So all of that is definitely possible. And in order to get onto that insiders program, there is a Calendly link that my colleagues have shared in the chat window. Go ahead, click on that Calendly link, and yeah, the first 75 people that we talk to stand a chance to actually win a $25 Amazon coupon. So it's actually a win-win for everyone involved, right? Now, before I move ahead, I'd like to launch a poll to understand who is it that we're talking to today. Let me launch that poll for you. So the first question of the poll is, which operating system do you use? Right? And again, please stay back. We have a lot of questions to answer for you. I see a bunch of questions all in there already, and some really nice slides for you to look at. So yeah, back to the poll. Which operating system do you use? So if you use Windows, Mac, or Linux, we'd love to know. And yeah, great news for Mac and Linux users. Fiddler will be soon available for you. All right, we're reaching close to 50% of people voting. I'd probably wait for 10 more seconds. If anyone wants to vote, now's the time. Windows is clearly coming out to be the winner today. All right, so it's time to close the poll and show you the results. So yeah, today we have 85% users on Windows as expected. A lot of people of Windows love Fiddler. About 11% people on Mac OS X and 4% people on Linux. Yeah, but as I said, I mean, the whole idea is to make sure that it's available cross-platform, and we'd love for the Windows users to tell their friends about the new Mac version that's coming out. Let me hide this. Let me launch another poll. Yeah, let me launch another poll and get some information from you. So which feature are you most excited about? So there's a UX revamp that you saw, fact that we gave Mac support, the fact that we gave Linux support, and then collaboration. Collaboration is basically the ability to share sessions, the ability to write comments, give all of your information about it. I mean, it's all about making sure that you're sharing your work with your peers and not just having to share SAS files on email. So that's what collaboration is about. So I hope I'm not hard selling collaboration, but yeah, I just thought it's something that you should be aware of. So people seem to be really excited about the UX revamp. Collaboration seems to be picking up. Probably my hard selling is kind of working out. But yeah, we have about 50% people who voted already. I'll probably wait for 5 more seconds. All right, so let me close the poll, share the results with you. So what are you most excited about? The UX revamp, as expected. Yes, we did receive a lot of feedback about the UX. Collaboration comes second, Mac support comes third, and Linux support comes fourth. Yeah, but as I said, I mean, it's all about making Fiddler more and more useful to you. And again, it's something that we're always gonna push for to and strive for to make it more and more useful to you. All right, let me hide the results. Made a mistake last time, but this time I'll be a little careful about it. And let me go ahead and go back to my slide deck, right? So let's quickly look at what all did we see today, right? As you saw, we had as you saw, we looked at Fiddler Everywhere, something that's now available on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Something that a lot of users had been asking us for since a while back. We've revamped the entire UX. We brought in some cool new features like sharing, like completely new autoresponder with new features in it, a composer which is completely revamped from a UI perspective. You first saw the session capture and the request and the response details around it. So very clean and simple design was what the focus was. As I said, the focus was on contextualization, organization, and experience, and that's what we're going to focus on even going forward as well. You saw that we made the actions more contextual, right? The fact that you have all of your buttons right in front of you, you click and move, as against search and move, which was the case earlier. We're just trying to make sure that we are almost thinking like you, making sure that the entire flow of the product is in line with what you have. Again, you saw filters and the fact that you can now have filters at the column level, you can have filters at the header level, depending on how complex you want to get or what kind of information you're seeking. And again, a very clean output from those filters. You saw that we were, yeah, I talked about this, the headers and all the different kinds of filters that you can put there here. We're basically saying if the content type is .png, I basically want to look at all my images. Can I actually do that? So again, this is something that allows you to do so. You can save and organize sessions. So that's something that that we're allowing with Fiddler now. As I said, the focus on organization, the focus on making it a tool for which is more enterprise ready, as against just developer focus. So we want to keep the spirit of Fiddler alive from a developer standpoint. At the same time, make it more enterprise ready for a more larger scale use. You saw that we provided multi-tab support, the fact that you're able to actually open sessions in multiple tabs and you're able to see all of those tabs side by side and compare results and do so much more and with ease of use. You saw the autoresponder, not really in this particular form, but you saw that the autoresponder is an extremely cool feature which allows you to mock up your servers, mock up your responses, and therefore allow you to make changes to a live site. Very, very useful for people who are doing development. And again, we're making it even better. So this screen that you see is something that we're working on to just make autoresponder much better. and you utilize your complex use cases. We showed you about the composer and the fact that now you have the request and the response details right there, along with your ability to execute your APIs, and therefore look at all of that information in terms of various format types that you have available and test it out. So again, you don't really have to toggle between the sessions that you have in the live traffic versus this. Earlier, the flow was you put something in the composer, you go to the traffic capture, you click something there, look for the response. I mean, it's just painful, like 4 or 5 steps. Here now you just have all the information with one step. As I talked about, integrating the request and the response sessions. And you saw a bit about collaboration. I did run out of my quota, and let me tell you, you might too if you share a lot. But we allow you to upgrade to pro version. So yeah, we showed you, or I was trying to show you, collaboration allows you to now use Fiddler and Teams. We received a lot of these requests where they said, I'm not able to share my SAS files through email. I mean, I have to share my SAS files through emails. Is there a way that my teammate or my teammates and I can actually work on a single session? The answer to that today is yes. I'm a malware analyst and I'm not able to share my SAS files because it's quarantined by email servers. Can I have a way in which I can get people to look at my sessions and mark them out, the ones that are marked out? The answer is yes. Can I have comments and I can almost have a Slack-like interface where my team and I are looking at something together? The answer is yes. So there's so much more that is being done with collaboration, which allows you so many of these new features, and therefore they're what part of what we're calling as the pro version or the enterprise version that we're bringing out to you. How does sharing work? Save captured traffic, highlight sessions or add comments, share with the email ID. How do you save captured traffic? This is what I showed you. You select a bunch of sessions, give it a session name. You put in your comments to say, hey, you know what, this particular session does not look right. Can someone have a look at it? You click on share. Here's where I ran into trouble, but you'd actually be able to put on all your email IDs, you'd be able to put in your message, click on share, and boom, that email goes out to all your colleagues. They're able to now open in Fiddler as against that SAS file and then uploading it onto Fiddler and then having a separate window and going through 5 different steps. Now you're just able to open it in Fiddler and you have these sessions right in front of you. Contextual, collaborative, productive. That's what the focus of collaboration is. Gives you the ability to actually interact with people around it and make sure that you're contributing together as a project, as against an independent information piece. When do you need collaboration? You need collaboration if you're a developer working on debugging an issue and wants to share your findings with your colleagues. Very, very important, right? I mean, as I said, you're able to share your work and you're able to get inputs from them. You're a malware analyst. This is what I was talking about earlier. The fact that you're a malware analyst and cannot share SAS files over emails as they get quarantined. You're a consultant. A lot of people are coming to us and saying, you know what, why this is useful? Because now I can have folders for my customers and I don't need to save all of these files on my local system. I can even have them up on the cloud and therefore that basically allows me to have these workspaces that I can share with my customers only and do all kinds of stuff there. So again, very, very cool feature for consultants and having them the ability to organize their work better. You're a QA engineer who's testing an application and found some issues that you want to share with your development team. As I was saying before, are you interested in trying out these features before everyone else? If yes, there's a Calendly link down there. Click on it. You get access to you get early access. That means not just the access, early access to the version that you just saw. To top it all, you get a $25 coupon if you're amongst the first 75 people that we speak to. And yeah, I mean, I think we've had some amazing conversations so far talking to people like you, and we'd love to go forward with it. Before people start running away and we start taking your questions, there's one final question that I have from the poll. Launching it now. How many users are using Fiddler in your team today? And it'll be good if you can tell me how many people are using it amongst the people that you know, maybe even across teams. But if you know that there are about 50 people that you know in your company using it, just select more than 50. We'd love to know how many people are using it in your company and that you're aware of. So, all right, so it's I see 3 different selections. So less than 10, 10 to 50 a bit, and it's just me. A lot of it's just me. We're at about 37, 50. Okay, we're touching 50% now. I'll probably wait for 10 more seconds, and then it's time for Q&A. All right, let me close this poll, share the results with you. So yeah, small number of people, more than 50. A lot of them between the 10 to 50%. A lot of them less than 10, and it's just me, 25%. So it's good to know. I mean, even if you think about it, right? Even if you have about a team of 5 or 7 people, something like collaboration can really help you out. The ability to organize work can really help you out. The ability to move things into the cloud can really help you out. So those are kind of some of the things that we're working on, and we would be happy to share some of those versions with you. With that, I'd like to introduce my pal, my colleague Simeon, to take some of your questions. Simeon, if you're there, I see a bunch of them. So yeah, if there are questions, please feel free to put them in now. We're happy to take them up. Simeon, all yours.
Hi, thanks for introducing me. Can you hear me? How do you hear me?
Yes, Simeon, we can hear you well. Yep.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's go through the questions. And so one,
Yeah, Simeon, while you pull it out, there's one question. Is this version available? I was hoping to follow along, but my version of Fiddler Everywhere on a Mac looks nothing like that. Simeon?
It's available in the Insiders program. It's not quite the beta, but it's for the Insiders channel. You can go to telerik.com/fiddler-everywhere, and at that link you will find a section about the Fiddler Insider program, where you can click on the Become Insider Now, and then you follow the instructions, and you'll be provided with the insider version of Fiddler. All right.
Or else, as we talked about, right? You can actually just sign up with us, and we'll provide you the details. Yeah, otherwise it'll get kind of confusing, right, Simeon, for them. There's I think an old version of Mac which is available right now for publicly available. The one that Simeon talked about is more gated. So yeah, for now you'd have to go through us, and going forward, when we release it publicly, then it's available for everyone. So, right, Samir?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Another question just came in. Will there be a new version of the debugging with Fiddler book to support the new release? We are working to make the documentation of Fiddler Everywhere more detailed. Fiddler, the classic Fiddler was notorious with its documentation section, but we took a note on this, and we have dedicated some power for the documentation. So I cannot promise for a full-blown book about it, but at least the documentation will cover everything in detail. Okay, another question. I'm much more inexperienced than average at using Fiddler. Where are the best beginner tutorials you know of? So if you want, Fiddler Classic and Fiddler Everywhere are similar in functionality. They both capture traffic. With both of them, you can respond to requests. You can compose requests to servers. And so if you want to get familiar with the functionality which Fiddler provides in general as a product, you can find some videos of Eric Warren's in YouTube. You can also go through our documentation which we are building, and I think in Plural site there are also great videos you can find about it. And of course, you can always ask questions in the feedback portal, in the forums, and we'll be happy to answer. Okay, some other question. Do we have any plugin which can be integrated with browser like Chrome? We are working on the extensibility part of Fiddler Everywhere. We will provide API, and the users will be able to, and we also will be able to make plugins for Fiddler, and why not? We can also make, we can also integrate it with Chrome. I don't promise this as a developer, but if it's a requested feature, I believe the product owners will put it on the list. Why not? Any plans to add the SAML decode capability? There used to be a plugin. Yes, this was a third-party plugin for the Fiddler Classic. And when we deliver this extensibility to Fiddler Everywhere, we will be able to provide it in Fiddler Everywhere as well. All right. Anything else?
Simeon, if I just may, I think there are a lot of questions on people trying to download Fiddler Everywhere. So guys, the only way you'd be able to get the version that we showed you would be through that Calendly link. So I'd suggest not to type in Fiddler Everywhere and search for the version there. It's still the older version, and the build would be provided to you by the product, and that's why we're calling it the Insider's Access program, right? So don't feel disappointed if you're downloading Fiddler Everywhere and feeling as though this was not what you saw. So it's something that you will get through us, and that will happen through the Calendly link, right? So yeah, sorry, Simeon, didn't mean to interrupt, but I just saw a lot of people trying to download Fiddler Everywhere, and then figuring out they didn't see what I showed them today. So
yeah, thank you, Abhishek. You're right. So yeah, the situation is quite dynamic here, and so please go to the Calendly link as Abhishek suggests. Also, will legacy Fiddler extensions be compatible with Fiddler Everywhere? It depends on the extensions. The classic Fiddler was using Windows Forms for the UI, and it also provided extensibility points for the UI, but here we are only relying on the Fiddler core, and if those extensions are dependent on the Windows Forms part, we will not be able to support them. But those which only require the core functionalities, they will be able, most probably, to run with Fiddler Everywhere. Is there a timeline for custom extension support? It's for when we release the first official version. But it's more. This is more question to the product owners. I cannot promise anything on this. I'm curious to know the motivation behind the name Fiddler Everywhere. The name came naturally. It's our bottom line is that Fiddler should be able to run on each platform. So that's why we call it Fiddler Everywhere. And to distinct it from the classic Fiddler, which runs only on Windows. So, Abhishek, how much time more do we have for questions?
We can take a few more,
okay.
maybe a couple more.
Okay.
Simon, there's one that just came in. Can developers get access to how to write extensions for Fiddler Everywhere?
Yes, we will make this public once we have the exact details. But yes, this will be very well documented. How you'll be able to make extensions for Fiddler Everywhere.
Simon, I can take the next one. It says, what's the plan for Fiddler Classic in the future? We'll continue. I mean, for now, there is no plans of removing it. Fiddler Classic will continue. So yes, Fiddler Everywhere will be a parallel offering. So with Fiddler Everywhere, as you can see, we're focusing on on getting the Mac and Linux users also to use Fiddler. Along with Windows audience, people who want to actually go in and experience the new UI and experience the new features that we have. So for that, Fiddler Everywhere would be the version, but yes, support to Fiddler Classic will continue. Right. Any final questions? If not, then we can probably close this webinar. Going once, going twice. All right, nothing more. So hey, thanks a lot everyone for joining in and sticking around for the Q&A. As I said, I mean, this is something that you'd get access to even after the webinar gets done, so you can look at all the new things that I showed you and go and yeah, as I said, sign up for it. So there's a Calendly link in the chat. If you want to sign up for it, you can do so now. All right, super. Thanks a lot, and I have a great day ahead. Stay safe. These are tough times, and yeah, we're hoping that all of us come out of this stronger than ever. All right, thanks a lot for your time. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Abhishek, and thanks for having me. It was a great webinar.
Thank you. Thanks, Simeon, for helping me as always. I really appreciate and I really idolize the level of knowledge that you have about it. So thanks a lot. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.